Investing in yourself, to me, I love this analogy, the cup and the overflow, and giving from the overflow. And we touched on that last time as well. As women, we give so much, around us, to family, children, husbands, partners, etc., that at the end of the day, we're the last person to go to bed because we have to take care of everything. Right? So investing in yourself is you filling up that cup, just to make sure that when you are giving, you are not depleting yourself, right? And it starts with you. It all starts with you. So investing in yourself, for me, is doing for yourself what you are expecting other people to do for you, right? And not waiting for other people to do it for you. So if you want to go out in a nice restaurant, take yourself out. Don't be afraid to be in your own company. That is something that is going to help you grow your confidence and becoming more bolder as well. If you can sit with your own self, can you stand your own presence? If that's something that you've never considered, I highly encourage you, to start doing that. Doing things for yourself that you are expecting, maybe waiting on somebody else to do it for you. Get yourself flowers, as Sharon mentioned, just a nice bath. Why not with flowers and lighting candles and music and just being at peace with your own presence? Because trust me, when you can enjoy your presence, other people are going to enjoy you.
A few years ago, really taught people who were not investing in themselves a few years ago what we went through, and really are still going through.
Mm-hmm.
It's taught us to invest in ourselves even more, spending the time alone, not always having to be around tons of people.
Yes.
Yeah, to really enjoy our own energy and our own time, with us, listening to us talk. If you talk to yourself sometimes.
The most important voice or sound is the sound of your voice,
Right.
So talking to yourself is very powerful. Talking to yourself is very powerful. And investing in yourself, yes, it's not just in monetary terms. It is the time and the energy that you pour into yourself as well. Making sure that you are okay.
Okay with you. Okay with me. Right?
Okay with you, because your presence is a present to others.
Yes.
Your presence is a present. So when you give a present to somebody else, you want them to enjoy it. You wouldn't give a present that that people are not gonna like or anything like that, right? The idea of a present brings joy, brings happiness. So
yes.
that's what you want to represent.
So you are your gift to the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. In this world of social media, I think we can be on so many other people's paths.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not our generation, but it can creep up on us a little bit as well. So when you think of finding and creating your own path, what do you think about especially when you're teaching women entrepreneurs like you do, finding and creating their own path in business? What tips can you give the audience with that?
Staying in your lane and creating that lane, because if you create that lane, only you can navigate it, right? Only you can navigate it, and you're the only one, right? And you wouldn't have to look left or right, because you're going on that path that you have created just for yourself. You know where you're going, you know what you're aiming for, and you are not able to be distracted by what other people are doing. Yes, you have to be aware of your environment. Definitely, you have to be aware of competition, but not in order to compare yourself, because when you compare yourself, you lose focus of your own self. Okay, because you have to take attention of yourself and your business and what you're doing to be able to put that focus on what the neighbor is doing, or what Jacqueline or Linda is doing. So create your own path, walk in that lane and walk boldly in that lane. So create your own path. Don't compare, be aware, right? You can get inspired by other people. And, you know, as Sharon mentioned, with social media and style influencers and style bloggers, etc., there is so much information that is thrown at you. But what you forget, and what I say to people, those people that you are looking at and admiring and maybe comparing yourself to, they are doing them.
That is right? So true.
They are doing them. So yes, definitely be aware. You have to be able to have that narrow mind and just focus on what you're doing.
That's really good. So, you know, and in so many different spaces, if you're in corporate America or you have an online business, it's just so important. And I can definitely resonate with this, because my path has been a long journey getting to here. It's been, I can say, I believe it's at least been 10 years, because I've been working on being in the online space for years and years. And I was talking to a girl who actually taught me how to edit videos. And I learned from her one video, and I just ran with it, took other classes in video editing. But first of all, I hated being in front of the camera.
I remember.
You know, I hated gray hair. So like, it took me a while just to get to this point, just let my personality just come out. And that's what I get a lot of tips. I get a lot of comments, I should say, you know, on this platform. You know, I feel like your authentic self is coming out, because I just decided to start just to be me and just let my little quirky personality come out however it comes across, you know, laughing, you know, with comedy or, you know, or seriousness, however it comes across. I just decided, you know what, I just need to just be me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to say, it's amazing to see where you are today, because I've been in the transformation journey a little bit, and seeing where you are today, I can absolutely testify that, you know, to the fact that what I mentioned before, embracing and accepting you as you are is key. And who you are today is the fruit of that, of you accepting just who you are, your authenticity and all your quirkiness and everything that makes you, your unique flavor, and just bring down to the world, you know, and you do shine in your own gifts and talents, and the acceptance of who you are.
Thank you. And I have to add that Miss Jen was my coach, y'all, in the online space. You know, she helped me with business, you know, finding my vision, my purpose, and my mission, and all of that. So she can actually see how I've transformed, and it's been a big transformation. So, to end this tip, thank you. I would say, to, like Jen said, be aware and don't compare.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you know yourself, you don't have to compare. But it's always going to be a little bit of that. That's just women, period. And that's just humans, period. You know, men do the same thing. They compare. But when you are aware and you know yourself, you don't have to let that comparisonitis just take over whatever you're doing in life. If you're in corporate America, or if you're a stay-at-home grandma, whatever that is, when you go out into the world, you know yourself. So you can be your own authentic self wherever you are, wherever you show up. And people feel that. They can feel it through the screen. They can feel it when you walk in the room. So talk a little bit about knowing yourself, Jen.
Oh, it's a journey, right? Knowing yourself is a journey, and I don't know what the end destination is, but I think every day is a new opportunity. Every day you have a new grace to know more about yourself and to showcase more about yourself and who you are. And as a woman, and as you're reaching 50 and above, you've had so much experience. You've been through so much, not necessarily negative, you know, on the positive and the negative side, depending on your experience. So you have so much to offer to the world, and you've been through so much. So using those experiences have actually crafted you. They have shaped you into who you are today. And can you take all those experiences? Can you embrace your journey? Can you embrace the path that you have been on so far, and decide today, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to show up, and this is who I'm going to be, regardless of what anybody else is gonna say or think about me, because you've earned it. Literally, you've earned who you are today, and you have to be proud of that. You know, you have to embrace it, and you have to continue that journey of self-discovery. As I mentioned, you know, we are evolving being. We're changing every day, and we're discovering more about ourselves every day. So this is something that you should always aim to do. Going deeper and deeper and deeper within yourself, and peeling off those layers and uncovering more of who you really are, and, you know, showcasing that and sharing that with the world. So one way one method I like to use in discovering and understanding more about myself is journaling. I don't know how many journals. I love writing about my experiences and what I've learned from it, the mistakes I've made in the past, and how I want to grow and not repeat the same mistakes, etc., etc. So find something that is going to help you, you know, monitor who you are becoming every single day, because you never stop becoming. You are always becoming, right? But you have to be diligent and intentional, you know, in choosing who you are becoming and who you want to be. And once you've put a foot or a finger into that, be that, and be that 100%. Because, you know, we find it difficult to be, just be. You know, we want to add so many artificial stuff to us that are going to validate us, you know, and the way we show up into the world. But if you just allow yourself to be, you know, and that powerful statement, I am, if you just allow yourself to be, you'll find so much power, so much power in that.
Yeah, I love that. That's good, because it's like we're human beings, and also sometimes we, excuse me, we can be human doers. We're always doing. Because I have to work on this myself. You know, living in the moment. You know, not thinking about the past or worried about the future, but just be. Just sit and just be. Yeah, that's really, really good. So knowing yourself is a work in progress. I always say I'm a work in progress until I leave here in a body.
We all are. We all are.
We definitely all are.
Yeah.
I know this is your thing, taking space, but I'm going to really work on this, because I thought it was so profound, the way you explained it, and just the way I understood it. And sometimes, I know a lot of times it's something I'm already doing, taking space, but just to live in that, you know, so much more as we're aging gracefully.
Absolutely. Yes. I love that. Aging gracefully. I love that. Taking space is going to be the result of the work that you would have done in, you know, growing your confidence, changing your appearance, changing your wardrobe, letting your hair be, letting your gray hair be and just do its thing. You deciding to show up a little bit bolder. All of those ingredients combined is going to help you take up space, right? Why? Because you are worthy. you are worthy and you are worth it. And you are valuable, you are unique in your gifts and talents, in your purpose, your mission, etc. And you know, you have a very specific fingerprint. Okay, I like to think of the world as my catwalk. I don't know if it's the fashion in me, if it's the stylist in me, but when I walk with purpose, right? And I used to be shamed, you know, when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, because I have a very specific way of walking. My walk is very feminine, so I look like I'm walking on a catwalk when I walk, but it comes naturally to me. Maybe because of I was a little pageant in Africa when I was living in Congo, so they taught us how to walk on a catwalk, and that just stayed with me. And growing up and looking back, I love it now because to me is one way of expressing my femininity. So I'm not going to walk any other way, and so that's one thing, and that's one thing that helped me take up space. And I would take space where I go, whether I'm going to the mall or the supermarket to buy washing up liquid. I'm going to take up space. I'm going to make my presence known, not in a loud way, but in the way that I carry myself. So I really encourage you, you know, to practice that. Practice taking space, walking with your head up. I used to walk with my head down so much growing up because of those criticism, and because of all that shaming, etc. I would just walk with my head down, and I had to do so much work on myself, on my confidence, etc. I'm not who I am today just naturally. It didn't happen just like that, right? We go through so much, but at this stage where I am right now, I'm not afraid to take up space. I'm not afraid to walk into a room and be the most colorful person. I'm not afraid to wear big hair because that's my choice and that's how I choose to show up. And when you operate from that place of confidence, from that place of taking up space, you get noticed, right? People look at you. And people compliment you. Oh, I like your hair. Oh, I love your dress. Oh, I love that color on you, etc., etc. And you know, that is great because to me, I'm not just doing that for me. Another woman may look at me and be inspired by my hair, be inspired by the color of what. Oh, maybe I'll try this color. I do have a colleague. I don't know if she's gonna watch this, but I do have a colleague that I feel like I have made an impact on her as a female. And if I'm able to do that, you know, I'm happy. So it's me silently through the way that I'm showing up, making a difference and impacting on other women. And I love that. You know, I love empowering women. So if I can do it through the way that I'm showing up, even if it's silently, even if it's just me walking down the road and someone looking at me and like, oh, wow, she looks very confident. She looks very bold, you know, and take just a little bit of that from me, then, you know, I'm happy. So yes, you should definitely take up space because there's a specific reason why you're here, and why you're present today, and you deserve to take up space. So yeah. Take up space anywhere and everywhere you go. Make your presence felt and make your presence known.
Yes, I love that. Like when you were talking about that, I was just visualizing everywhere I go. Like the grocery store, you know, the mall, the beach.
Yes.
The airport.
Yes, everywhere.
And for me, to me, it's just like that silent confidence. Like you don't have to say a lot. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to be. Like you
said. Absolutely.
Yes, I love
that. Yes.
So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity and just leave the listening audience with some words of inspiration as they work, as we all work to reinvent ourselves each decade. You know, our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, our 50s. 60s and up, regardless of what age you are, if you're watching this video, you know, it's really for all women, but we specifically wanted to concentrate on women 50.
Yes.
We're like, when we get to that stage of being a half a century. It's just like, it's huge. And we've gone through so much. Like you said, maybe some positive, some negative, but I think a lot of the negative helps propel us to the stage that we are with so much wisdom to not repeat some of the lessons that we had to learn, some of the harder lessons that we had to learn.
Totally.
I'm going to give you a little time to give us some words of encouragement from London.
Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Make it loud. Because I feel like as we grow older, we tend to shrink. We tend to be quieter. You know, some of us are going to become grandmas, so you have to be more politically correct. There are some things that you shouldn't do as a grandma, etc., etc., or as an older woman or woman. I say scratch that. I'll say turn up the volume. Turn up the volume on your personality. Turn up the volume on your experiences. Share more of your experience with the younger generation, because, you know, unfortunately, in this side of society, we don't have a lot of sisterhood in a sense where you have the older generation guiding and helping the younger generation. I don't see a lot of that, and it really is a shame, because we can all benefit. I always say that to my friend. I can benefit from having older women around me who have been through so much, who are a lot wiser, who have more experience, share their mistakes and wins with me, you know, to get me inspired or to get me going as I'm gearing to, you know, my mid-40s and my 50s, etc. So turn up the volume, share your experience, share your talents, share your gifts, share your personality, and do not shrink. Do not shrink. If anything, rise higher. Rise higher. And that will be my final word. Turn up the volume.
That's awesome. I love that. Turn it up.
Yes.
It's like when you hear a good song on the radio, your favorite, you know, people say, that's my jam, or that's my ish. We can end this by turning up the volume on reinventing yourself at 50 plus. Or when you're transforming from your colored hair to embracing your gray hair with style.
Absolutely.
So I want to say thank you so much, Jen, for coming on here, and thank you also for the amazing piece that we did in the Grown Girls Go Gray community. If you want to watch that, make sure that you join our community, our free community on Facebook, and the link will be in the description section below. So I want to say thank you, and it's late over there for her. She is 6 hours ahead of me in Chicago, and it's time for her to get some rest. So she can rest her mind, her beauty, and be prepared for turning up her volume on the next
tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. All right, so get some rest, and those boys are gonna love all over you when you get off, I'm sure. So I want to say thank you, and I will talk to you soon.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So thank you guys for joining this video. This content to me was amazing. I always love to chat with Jen because she has such a different perspective on fashion, you know, being in the European world of fashion, and especially luxury fashion, and working with luxury brands. She always brings so much excitement and so much opportunity to help women on how to either reinvent yourself or create a brand for you. And if you have not joined the Grown Girls Go Gray community, make sure that you join down below. In the description section, there is a link so that you can watch the feature that we did live inside the group. So until the next time, guys, take care. Peace.